using Claude Code for 6 months, and it took me a long time, but I found the perfect system for it, and I can teach it to you in 8 minutes. There's all these AI tools out there, but to tell you the truth, there's only one you need, which is Claude Code. The hard thing with Claude Code is that you have to build your own setup, but I've already done that for you. I've spent 6 months building the perfect Claude Code setup, and I'm just gonna teach it to you right now, and you can learn it in 5 minutes. So let's get started. So I'm very confident that Claude Code is the tool that you need in your business. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, it doesn't matter what you're working with. The only problem is there's a little bit of a learning curve. When you start with Claude Code, you immediately start out with an empty folder, with an empty file, and then you have to build everything from scratch. And that is a terrible user startup process. But once you get over the hump with that, you can then build anything you need, whether it's a workflow, whether it's an app, whether it's whatever, and you can explain it all in English. That's the amazing power here with Claude Code, is that you can explain whatever you want in English, and like magic, Claude Code is able to build it. There's a lot of tips and tricks, but I'm gonna tell you the most important pieces that I've learned to make a really effective Claude Code. So there's only the 9 things you need to know, which are commands, workflows, agents, knowledge, skills, rules, pillars, state, and projects. It's not so crazy. Everything's in English. Everything's just files inside folders. You'll be able to understand this, so don't get overwhelmed. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing is commands, and this is really straightforward. When you're using Claude Code, you have the ability to save certain memorized functions to where you could say like /morning, and then you could train it every day and say, hey, whenever I say /morning, I want you to prepare my morning report, which might be analyzing your data, analyzing how your computer's usage, just reviewing your task and things to do. Initially, there won't be much to do, but as you use Claude Code more and more, there'll be more that happens here. And if you ever notice that you're constantly typing the same prompts, you could also use commands for that purpose to save you and just say, like, for me, I like to organize my systems into swarms. So I just hit /swarm, and then it actually builds everything out in the way that I need that matches my like swarm methodology. But you could also say something else, like I like to say like /YouTube video if I'm preparing a script for YouTube or something like that, and it immediately knows to trigger everything I need for that. So commands, super useful, easy, right? /command, that's it. All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right, so now we have agents. And the cool thing with agents is it's basically like having your own employees that can do whatever you need and can be specialists in whatever you want to focus on. A lot of times people try to do everything in one master chat where they keep asking questions. They'll ask the same question multiple different times. But what's even better is if you can actually have AI chat with itself. So if you could have one agent that's focused on the marketing side of your business, and one that's focused on the product, and one that's focused on your finances and the cost, and one that's focused on your vision, and have all 4 of them talk to each other, then they talk to you, you get a much better output. So that's the power of agents. An agent by itself really isn't that powerful. Like, people talk about it like setting up an agent, but personally, I don't think a one agent system is that powerful. But whenever you do have multiple agents that have multiple specialists, multiple tools they can call, you can really build out really custom things. So what does an agent look like inside? That sounds like maybe something you'd need to hire a developer for, learn how to code. But the cool thing is right now, you don't. You save it in a file that's called a markdown file, which looks just like this, .md, which is just a text file. And then I made this really simple just so it could fit on the screen. But you can see here, all it is you just say, what's your name? Content strategist. What's your role? I put who do you report to, which most of the time is just the human. But sometimes you may have an agent that reports to another agent. You then give it an identity. And this is where I do a lot of times go really in depth. I'll maybe even give it some crazy backstory. And then I'll list out all the skills. We'll talk about skills in a second. I list out the knowledge it has access to, that we'll talk about that in a second, and the rules. But now this agent, I can call on it whenever I need, or I can add it to any workflow, which we'll talk about in a second. And the agent can then have access to all of this and act as like its own individual person in your business. The cool thing with an agent is it's basically like a free employee. Like, it doesn't cost very much to make a new agent and to run it, maybe pennies. So there's not much downside to having 10,000 agents that are working in your business. The hard part is just coming up with ideas for all of them and working with them and evaluating them. So that becomes the constraint, not having enough agents. So next up is knowledge. So we used to have these tools like Obsidian and Roam Research and things like that would make these giant complex research systems. Now AI can do that very easily for you. So I don't even open up those tools. I just ask AI like, hey, I like this article, save it in my knowledge base, and it'll break it down and save all the core pieces, analyze it, tie it to other pieces of things in my knowledge base. So these knowledge bases are very powerful. We have more videos coming out on these, and knowledge graphs are going crazy viral on Twitter. I think it's going to be something that people are going to talk about more and more. Even though it's early in the knowledge phase, I think it's going to be a long-term part of AI systems. So I recommend adding a knowledge base. All right, so here's the most important part, which is workflows. So workflows is what I was talking about before, where you might have 4 different AI agents. You might have a strategist. If you're trying to create a blog post, you might have a strategist that strategizes what is the blog post trying to do, what's the structure, what's the plan. But then you might have a writer that actually writes the first draft for you. Maybe you break this into 3 or 4 drafts if it's a huge article, but if it's a simple one, maybe it's just one writer. And then you might have an editor agent that comes back and reviews it, make sure it aligns with what the original goal was, make sure it's clear, make sure you explain things really well. And then you might have a packager that comes back and says, all right, let's add some cool visuals or some other pieces to the title or subheadings or different things like that to make the article flow really well. And so then you could have a blog post that's made not by humans, but by 4 agents that took an idea that you gave it and then structured it really well and built it to be at a really high quality. The cool thing with these workflows is that you can continue to extend them. You could eventually have 20 to 50 agents that all flow through as you realize, oh, we need to look at historical examples. We need to think about how to incorporate more scientific research or incorporate more marketing research or incorporate more visuals. You can just over time improve these workflows, but then also you can scale these up. Let's say you eventually need 100 blog posts. Well, then you could just run this 100 times and these things can scale really well. So once you have it down to where the quality is there, getting the quantity on top of that is very easy to do. So workflows kind of combines the agents, and the agents reference a lot of the other pieces like the knowledge base. All right, next up is skills. So skills, if you're on Twitter or if you're following people that are into AI, they always talk about skills. This one is the most basic. If you're overwhelmed, like skills is not something you need to be worried about. It's basically just like a long text file that explains something in detail. So it could be like how to make YouTube videos or how to structure recipes or how to do legal research. And it just explains all that in one long English document so that you can then add that to various agents. And so the first thing they do when they're working on a project is they read that highly advanced skill system so they make sure that they understand all the things they need to accomplish the goal. So why are skills not just in the prompt for the AI agent? And the reason is because you might want the skill to be something that's used by multiple AI agents. So that way, if you want to change your legal research system to know that there's a new law, or if you want to change your marketing system to always think about persuasion, instead of having to change 100 different agents, you can just change that persuasion skill or the Tennessee law skill so that then it flows across all of your agents. So it gives you a really good mechanism to where when you need to change a lot of agents at once, you can change it in the skill file instead of in the agent file. By the way, something else to let you know, we have a school community, which is where we teach people how to use AI, and we also give them a folder you can just download that already fills in all these different pieces. It starts with over 300 agents, 200 skills, and you can start with that from day one, and then we have a whole course that teaches you how to use that in your business to get you started right away. And it's built for people that are focused on improving their business and using Claude Code to do it. So then if you want that starter repo, all you have to do is sign up for our school, and then we will give you a file where you can download it, and then we'll give you all these lessons that tie to how to turn that into something you can use for your business. So feel free to sign up. We'll have the link below, and anybody that signs up now gets a big discount. So the sooner you sign up, the better. And I'll go back to the video now showing you the rest of the system. All right, so pillars is probably the most important part of AI. And the truth is it's really easy from a technical standpoint, but almost nobody does it well. What you need to do is you need to be able to map out what is my brand voice? What is my brand style? What is the offer that it is that I'm offering people? What's the story that I want people to think about when they're working with me as a customer? All of those kinds of things. And that's talking from a marketing standpoint, but you could do that from a finance. Like what are your targets? What are your goals? What are the expenses that you're trying to do? What's a list of the value you're getting from every single expense and how to measure the ROI? So that's on the marketing side, but on the finance side, maybe you look at your targets. What's the ROI for every expense? What are the opportunities to increase revenue, right? So you'd want to be able to document all of those pieces. And if you have that documented really, really well, and then you upload that to AI, and AI, maybe even want that uploaded to every AI chat that's going to talk about marketing or talk about finance, then you're going to get really, really good outputs that completely align with everything else that you're wanting it to do. So this is probably the most important part, and we do train in our course exactly how to do it. I think if you want to get started with this, one of the best ways is to ask AI to make you a brand style guide or a $100 million offer, which is an Alex Hormozi concept. And if you do that and then ask it to help make marketing messages for you, you'll see that it really aligns well with both what you do, but then also what people, like how people would actually want to buy what it is that you're selling. And it ties it back to your offer. So yeah, I think pillars are really underrated. It's a really important part. The reason people ignore it is because it's more like a consultant task instead of a technical task. But somebody needs to do that consultant work so that AI can be really useful for you. All right, and then the next thing that I found that's really helpful to add for AI is adding projects. And so that way it can see, instead of like, maybe some projects will take 50 different chats before you get them finished. And if you're having to start fresh every time and explain the project and explain what its role is and what's been done before and what's going to be done next, the AI agent's probably going to lose its path a lot of times. So I think it's great to have a projects folder where you actually break down the projects, maybe break it into multiple tasks, and then have your AI agents know, hey, you're doing these, task 41 through 45, because then it'll know exactly what its role is and it'll stay very focused and not get distracted trying to learn the whole project. So that's super key. It's a great way to keep your AI aligned with what it is that you want it working on and keeping it focused on trying to achieve your goal, which is a successful project. And just to show you, you don't have to do like a super intense system. Your project folder could literally just show, here's the active things that need to be done, here's what the backlog is, maybe here's what's blocked, here's what's already done. And then you could even just link to other documents that show, hey, here's what our brand style guide is done, here's where it is. Our project planning, here's our technical architecture. That's something I do on the coding side a lot. So you could just have that written out. You can get super advanced here, but I think it's great to just start simple and then make it more complex over time. All right, so next up is state. And this is something that maybe doesn't sound super exciting, but really it ties to memory. So what were the sessions, like the chat sessions that you ran, and what were the workflows? So one crazy thing is that Claude Code is really, really great and powerful. It gives you the most powerful way to connect with AI and get it to do stuff for you. However, there are certain things that are missing, like it doesn't save its chat logs. If you're using the Claude app or the ChatGPT, you can see your previous chats. Claude Code, you just need to make a system where it actually stores that. So that's what the state folder is. It's just to save your chat sessions and your workflow session. And over time, you can actually have Claude Code review those session files to find improvements for your agents or your workflows so that any issues that keep coming up, you can just fix one time and not have them come up anymore. So it's very important for long-term improvement, but for the most part, it's just like a system memory file and you probably won't open it up very much. All right, and then the final piece is just rules. So rules are just a little bit different than everything else. It's more something that you say like every single time I want you to make sure you don't use em dashes, right? Because that's something that a lot of people have the issue with, where their AI will make em dashes, which seems to be something that's only used by AI when making articles and things like that. So that's a rule that I have. I say, make sure you never use em dashes. You could also have something else that says like never share technical details, never upload client information, anything like that that you want as a rule. Then you could just put that in the basically rules file that could tie back to Claude and basically be like, always use this voice or always use this research style. So if you ever want something to apply across all your agents, all your projects, everything, you'll want to have that in the rules folder. If it's something that ties to a specific agent, then you could just put it in that one agent's role. But if it's anything that you want just like account-wide, just know that you have this section called rules and you can place stuff in it as you need. All right, so we just covered a lot of different things, but the cool thing is this is all just English text stored in folders. The folders are going to be named exactly what I told you. And by the way, if you want to use our repo, we have one in our school community. So just feel free to come sign up there, download that, and you can get started in 5 minutes using this. But to show you how you could use this internally, you basically would have the capability, which is just your agents, your knowledge, and your skills. It's like very specific ways to act. So the formula to combine all these is that you have different capabilities. So being an AI that's very focused on legal research or marketing or finance, you'd want those to behave very differently. So you can do that by having specific agents, by giving them access to full knowledge bases, and then also to give them access to skills. The way you trigger those, at least initially, is by either doing commands, which is the thing we showed at the beginning, which is like /morning or something like that, or by triggering a workflow. Initially in Claude Code, you can just ask in chat to do that, but you could eventually do that with APIs or other things like that. And then you want all that governed by rules to never break any of the rules that you list. And then you can use AI to help create these pillars, which you can then later reference, such as brand style guides or other things like that. And that will help you to better train future AIs on how to work with your brand or other pieces. And then you're tracking all this in projects and in state. And then you continue to do this so that you can produce more and more output. And all of this combined makes it to where you have insane power and insane capability just in the Claude Code system. So I've been really excited about this. The entire way that I work, for 9 years, all I did was I opened Excel or I opened SQL or I opened a coding tool and I would code or I would work in Notion or I would work in chat. And now what I do is I open Claude Code. And anytime I have a project, anytime somebody has a problem, I open Claude Code. And the solutions that I'm able to find are much faster and way more robust. So I think anybody out there that has problems to solve needs to learn this system. It's so great. It's the best way to bring AI into your life and produce massive results. And if you want to learn more, sign up for our school community or subscribe to our YouTube. We're going to continue talking more and more about how you can use AI to help you in your life and in your business. Awesome. Thanks.